Now that we've learned to chain a length of chains, this length of chains is called the foundation row. We will work double crochets into this foundation row. Double crochets are a basic stitch in crochet, and we have two different terminologies for stitches used in crochet. We have the US crochet terminology, which is American, and we have the UK crochet terminology, which is British. I will be using the US crochet terminology. So here we are working double crochets and the abbreviation is DC. To begin, wrap your yarn around your fingers and hold your chain in place. Now, when working double crochets into the foundation row, we start our stitch into the fourth chain from the hook. Count your stitches. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. You will work your first stitch into that fourth chain. To work a double crochet, yarn over. So you are wrapping the yarn around your hook. Insert your hook into the fourth chain. Notice I am going into that chain. Pull up a loop by pulling yarn through the chain. Notice that you have 3 loops on your hook. Now yarn over by wrapping the yarn around the hook and pulling through the first 2 loops on your hook. You now have 2 loops remaining on your hook. Yarn over and pull through those 2 loops on your hook. You have now completed a stitch, in this case a double crochet, and here it is. Now if you go back and remember, we had started off our stitch into the fourth chain. Those 3 chains that we had skipped to work our stitch is counted as our first stitch, and this double crochet that we had worked counts as the second stitch. There are crocheters that count those first 3 chains as a stitch, and then there are those that do not. I will be counting those 3 chains as my first stitch. To work the next double crochet, yarn over by wrapping your yarn around the hook. Insert the hook into the next chain, going through 1 loop from that chain. Pull up a loop, pull it through that chain. You now have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over by wrapping the hook around the yarn and pull through 2 loops on your hook. You now have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through those remaining 2 loops on your hook. You've worked your next double crochet. Repeat the process to work more double crochets into the remaining chains. Here I've speeded up the video because working these double crochets are exactly the same as I've already shown you. Be certain to work your last stitch into that last chain. At the same time, make certain that you have not skipped any chains in between. You may practice your stitches until they are even and uniform in size. Remember that this takes time, patience, and a lot of practice. We have now completed row 1. I will now show you how to work row 2. When beginning row 2 from where we've stopped, chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. This chain 3 counts as our first stitch. Now you will turn And if you look carefully, notice the stitch from where chain 3 is coming out of. Now, because chain 3 counts as a stitch, we will not work a double crochet into that same stitch from where chain 3 comes out of. Instead, we will work it into the next stitch. Now, if you look at your stitches, this stitch is made up of 2 loops. We have the back loop right here, and we have the front loop right here. The back loop is the loop that is away from you, as you see here. And the front loop is the loop that is closer to you, as you see here. These 2 loops make up 1 stitch. So when you're counting your stitches, this is 1 stitch right here. And if you look along the side of your work, you will notice little gaps. These little gaps is where you would insert your hook to work a stitch. When inserting your hook into that gap, you pick up on both loops from your stitch. Here you see the next gap along the side, and this is where I will insert my hook to work a stitch. Continuing on from where we've stopped at that chain 3, which counts as our first stitch. Now we're looking for the next stitch, and it is right here, and that's where we will work our next stitch. So it's yarn over, insert your hook into that stitch right there, into that gap along the side, picking up both loops from your stitch, pull up a loop. You now have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, go through 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, and go through 2 loops on your hook. Working double crochets for row 2 and for the remaining rows is exactly the same as I've shown you for row 1. Only this time we're working our stitches into stitches as opposed to row 1 where we worked our stitches into chains. Always make certain that you are not skipping any stitches as you work. Try to keep your stitches evenly spaced and uniform throughout, but as I explained before, this will come over time and practice. Now, as you work your way to the end of the row, as I have done here, remember to work your last stitch into that chain 3 from the previous row, because that chain 3 counted as a stitch. So here's the chain 3 right here. So that's 1, 2, and this is my 3rd chain from chain 3, and I'll work my last double crochet into that stitch. Now, if you skip that last stitch, you will find your work going askew instead of going straight. So to work that double crochet into that 3rd chain from chain 3 is exactly the same as we've worked our double crochets earlier on. To continue on by working more rows, all you need to do is repeat row 2 just by chaining 3, turning and working double crochets into all your stitches. You may repeat row 2 as many times as need be. And that does it for this tutorial on how to crochet for an absolute beginner. If you found this helpful or useful in any way and would like more, let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed it.